What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average patrolling enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for being here. Guys, today we're going to be discussing three main points. Part one is going to be your kit setup for a realistic infantry patrol or combat patrol. Okay, this isn't going to be like your flat range LARPing, even though that's exactly what we're doing is LARPing, but hopefully you guys will gain some value. So part one is going to be learning about realistic kit setup, rifle setup, and stuff like that. Part two is going to be how to camouflage yourself and how to actually pick a route that will keep you alive rather than crossing a road and getting smoked in the road. Okay. Part three is going to be challenge, password, running combination, and unit SOPs. Okay. So it's a lot, but bear with me. You can always, pause it and go back, and you can always ask me down in the comment section below. Guys, if you enjoy this content, post a flex emoji or something like that down in the comment section below. Post a weightlifting emoji or the flexing emoji down below if you enjoy this content, and let me know how often you actually are getting out and using your kit like I am here today. Guys, if you want to be in the Discord server to find buddies to train with, game with, and have realistic training, and actually stay up late and talk about all your favorite LARPing things, check out the Patreon. It's $5 a month. You guys should know this by now. It keeps me motivated to continue wasting time out here in the woods talking to a camera. Last but not least, PSA is the sponsor. If you need something like this Daniel Defense rifle, okay, or this ACOG, get on over, check out PSA, buy something with the link below. It'll help out. Last but not least, if you want to see behind the scenes footage, okay, check out the Instagram. It'll be listed down below, and follow me over there. I post all my lifting content and stuff like that behind the scenes. Okay, so part one. Let's talk about what I'm wearing. Okay, I'm wearing Cry Precision, just your standard, Cry multicam pants, Solomon shoes. The reason I'm not wearing my work, uh, top, okay, because I think it's a little bit cringe to wear the jacket outside of work. Okay, so I'm wearing a regular top. So make sure you actually are wearing multicam top if you're going to do this for real. Okay. Outdoor research gloves because they have leather palms and they still have good dexterity. And I'm wearing a Haley Strategic DC3RX with 4 rifle mags, a white light, a Gerber or Leatherman, um, a knife. Okay, the reason it's orange because if you don't want to lose your knife, I have a compass. I'll just show you guys here. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, I have my compass. It is tied down. Okay, that way I don't lose my lensatic compass. Why do you have a compass, Trench? Well, so I don't get lost. Okay, hopefully I'm not losing y'all with the microphone. In this pocket I have a headlamp, a thing of face paint, and a whistle. Okay, a thing of face paint and a whistle. Whistle is used for lift and shift fire. Okay, if we don't know what that is, don't worry, we're going to discuss it at some point. A headlamp is used for map checks, red lens under a poncho, stuff like that. Okay, yeah, everything I have is the basic bare minimum requirements. Obviously, I don't have my camelback on because that is also cringe wearing a camelback. Standard boonie cap, and I think that's pretty much it. Make sure you have some sort of uh, positive identifying flag or something for your team, whether that be tape or whatever you're going to use. Okay, make sure you have it on you. The rifle we're using is just a standard 16-inch gun, T-Rex arms sling, D-ball A3 for nighttime, and an ACOG for the daytime. No weapon mounted light. Let's talk about that, guys. Something like this rifle is something this, but a 14.5 is what I have used my entire military career. I have never needed a white light other than for TSE, SSE after clearing an objective. Okay, normally you can get that done with a standard headlamp. You shouldn't be using your weapon mounted light for that. For dark areas under nods, you just simply put your laser designator into that spot that you need to see into, okay, and then it'll light it up under night vision pretty well. And obviously the 4-power ACOG because it's super durable. I can probably count on 1.5 hands how many times I've ever needed a white light. So that's why I don't keep one on my patrolling rifle. And obviously the rifle's painted. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing. 4 additional mags on the kit. Typically I'll have 2 more in my assault pack. In the assault pack I'll have water, a wet weather top, and basics like that. Okay, so that is what I'm gonna wear for. Oh, and face paint. Okay, guys, for the face paint, I guess you can just see what I got going on. But for face paint, the highs, you're going to make a T. Okay. So if you're of the same complexion as I am, you're going to make a T with either brown or black. Okay. And then you're going to make a T down the middle and then another T. Okay. It's called a rolling T. You can look it up. Just look up like Ranger Standard or EIB Standard if you want to see more on face paint. But make sure you're utilizing face paint if you're going to be out in the woods patrolling, or simply put a mask on. Okay. But face paint will be superior to a mask unless you have some weird multicam style mask. Okay. Yeah, so I think that covers everything I'm wearing. Make sure you're actually painting. Obviously, I would roll my sleeves all the way down, and that would be how I would be rocking this kit. All right, now I want to talk about maneuvering, okay, using camouflage in the woods. So the biggest thing to note is you want to walk heel to toe. What that means is you're just going to roll into the step, okay? You're not just going to be stomping on the ground. Now, a lot of you guys probably have not walked in the woods and don't realize how loud a squad or a platoon worth of people is. So if every single member of that squad is intentionally walking heel to toe, it's going to save a lot of noise, okay? It's going to prevent you from being compromised walking heel to toe, okay? Additionally, when maneuvering, make sure anything you brush against, so imagine this is a big tree, anything you brush against, you are as tall as the tallest thing you touch. So if I'm touching a tree and it's rattling and shaking, that's going to give my signature away from farther away. Think of Lord of the Rings when Sam and Frodo are running through that cornfield or whatever, that field, and all the freaking whatever they're running through is just getting toppled over. Same thing from the woods. So try not to touch trees. Try not to brush into things because you are as tall as whatever you're touching. Okay. As far as additional camouflage, if you're going to use vegetation, don't put any too much on your front because when you get in the prone, it's going to hit you in the eyeball. Ask me how I know. When you're using vegetation such as foliage, you're going to need to replace it every 2 hours. You want to break up your silhouette. So over your shoulders, you want to put stuff on your shoulders and on your head to kind of break up that silhouette of the natural human body, because people can identify faces and identify the silhouette of a person really easily. So all you're doing is trying to break up the silhouette of a person. Okay. Um, when selecting a route, you want to avoid key things. First thing you want to avoid is an open danger area or large open danger area. It's simply a field, a valley, things with no cover and concealment. The reason why is if you get caught in an open danger area, think of like an airfield, okay, is a good example. That would be a large open danger area like an airport, okay, outdoors, on the runway. Think of that as an ODA. Any area like a linear danger area or a road, you want to avoid things like that, okay? So avoid being in a place that's easy to move. If it's easy to move, that means you shouldn't be patrolling there. Walking down a road, shouldn't be on it. Walking down, walking in a park, walk anywhere that it's going to be easy for humans to or animals to easily maneuver. You don't want to be in there. Okay, so you're going to be needing to pick things that are away from natural lines of drift. Natural lines of drift are typically going downhill or flat, and it's where people want to walk. All right, so avoid open danger areas, avoid large open danger areas like an airfield, okay? And avoid roads. Guys, I'll do a whole class on how to cross a road, but for now, don't walk on roads. Never walk on roads, okay? Never walk within 50 meters of the road. You need to be in the woods, concealed, okay? If you're in the desert, you need to pick terrain and use terrain to mask your movement. Like, don't walk up on top of hills. Don't walk up on top of IV lines, okay? You need to use terrain to mask your movement. Do not walk in anywhere that it's easy for you to walk. You shouldn't be walking there. You should be walking basically in a place that sucks. Okay, that's going to be part number one. Part number two, you want overhead cover, okay? Overhead cover for drones, overhead cover for ISR, and overhead cover just for people in overwatch positions seeing you. So anywhere that there's no overhead cover, you're going to be wrong. So consider that when you are patrolling. If I don't have overhead cover, that means I'm wrong. I need to find a place with overhead cover. Additionally, guys, anywhere that there's water or anywhere that there's things that people need to survive. So fuel points, aka gas stations, stores, um, anything, anywhere there's water, running water in particular, is going to be where people go to refill their water, and it's a good way to get killed if you want to go patrol near water. So avoid water crossings, okay? Avoid trying to cross water, and avoid getting too close to any body of water, particularly running water, because that's what is going to be life insurance for a lot of people. Okay. Avoid Just I would say use terrain to your advantage. Okay, if you know that there's a hill on one side and there's a hill on another side, and you can not without walking in a valley, but you can maybe skirt a draw. Use terrain to your advantage and never silhouette yourself on top of a hill or key piece of terrain. And like I said, avoid bumping into things that are going to give away your position, like trees, little trees that shake. Okay, things like that. Last thing I want to talk about today, guys, is challenge and password. But before we talk about it, do the YouTube thing. Reminder, leave that flexing emoji or leave something in the comments. Let me know how often you're realistically getting out here and actually training with your stuff. I'm curious because I bet a lot of you are not. And let this be a wake up call. Get out in the woods, walk around the woods. You're going to notice real quick what you actually need on your rifle, what you actually need on your kit, and what you don't. So get out in the woods and actually wear your stuff. Let me know in the comments how often you're actually patrolling. And yes, practice putting face paint on. I threw my face paint on real quick for you guys to see today. But, you know, that's dedication to the channel. So check out the Patreon because I'm out here wearing face paint off of work, which is kind of cringe. Okay. Do a mic check. We are good. All right, guys. So back to it. Challenge and password. Challenge and password is simply all you know what a password is because you use it on your phone every day. But a challenge and password is going to be a 2-word combination. Let's say it's Donkey and Kong, okay? Or let's say McDonald's and Sprite is our challenge and password. McDonald's is our challenge, Sprite is the password. The way you're going to use it is in a sentence, okay? So if I'm coming up to your position, I'm going to challenge you. If I see you first, I'm going to challenge you. Hey, brother, when was the last time you had McDonald's? And you're going to respond, I don't know, but I could really go for a Sprite right now. Okay, that's a challenge and password. Just something like that. Okay, you're not just going to say McDonald's and they're not just going to say Sprite. Because that's going to give away for anyone that's listening over time. If you think about if you're operating as a company or a battalion, if you are always saying, hey, you know, or just McDonald's and Sprite, then they're going to know the challenge and pass because the enemy is always watching and listening, even if they're using civilians to watch you. Okay, civilians, spies, right? Informants, stuff like that. Okay, so that is the first part, challenge and password. Every time you're patrolling, you need to have a challenge and password established, and you need to change it every 24 hours or based on enemy contact. Okay, if you're not really engaging or running into the enemy a lot, okay, just based on METTC, mission, enemy, time, terrain, troops, and civilian considerations. Base it on that, but you need to be changing your challenge and password. Remember to use it in a sentence. You need to have one established, and everyone needs to be tracking it. Okay, part 2 of challenge and password is your number combination. Typically, you're going to use your number combination at night. The way it will work, you have your nods on. Say the number is 7. Okay, you're never going to choose an even number. Okay, you're always going to choose an odd number. The reason is it's hard to reply back with the right combination than it is if you flash me 2 and I flash you 2 and the number combo was 4. That's easy. You're just sending back whatever I sent you. But the reason we're going to choose 7 is I'll flash you 5 times. Okay, with my IR flash or IR flood, you're going to flash me back 2 times. That tells me you're a friendly unit. You can also use your PEC 15 or your D-ball A3. Okay, if you flash something, you know, not at them, but somewhere, you know, you flash 5 times, they flash you 2. That is what a number combination is. All right. Last but not least is a running password. Running password could sound something like Alamo. The way a running password works is if you're in contact with the enemy and you're breaking contact or moving, don't worry, we'll talk about breaking contact at a different point, but breaking contact is basically getting away from the enemy. And you're the last person and you're running back into the patrol base or the trench or wherever you're running back to. You're going to sound off with Alamo, 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 and the number with you. So if there's 2 friendlies with me, that's 3 total. I would say Alamo 3, Alamo 3. So when the last person of my little group gets past them, what do you think they're going to do to the 4th person? They're going to shoot them. Okay. So that's how a running password works or an emergency password. Okay, guys. All right. So check on learning. What did we talk about today? In summary, we talked about a realistic kit setup. No, I don't have a handgun, okay, because you're not going to use a handgun 99.9% of the time ever. So all you guys with your Glock 19 or your Staccato, guess what? You're probably not going to use it for WROL or for patrolling, so just put it away. Have it, but focus on your rifle, okay? We talked about realistic kit setup. I'm carrying approximately 210 rounds with the 2 additional magazines in my assault pack that I don't have on, okay? So realistic kit setup based on your mission, you want to be light. We talked about face paint. We talked about realistic kit setup. Okay. We talked about challenge, password, and we also discussed areas to maneuver in and areas to avoid maneuvering. Guys, if you have questions regarding anything we discussed today, or how I have something set up, or what my experience is with something, please ask in the comment section. Let me know how often you guys are actually out here patrolling or actually doing this stuff. If you're not, you're wrong. Get out here and start doing it, okay, guys? And get a group. You only need 3 to 4 people to actually be able to maneuver, okay? Yeah, you can do it with 2, but you'll probably die. So 4 minimum, 9 preferably, but preferably 40 if you have a platoon, that's better. But 9, a rifle squad, you can get it done if you had to. All right, guys, post your strong flexing emoji down in the comments below. Let me know what you disagree with. Let me know all the things in the comments. I'll be down there. Thanks for being here. Reminder to actually like and comment and the Patreon and all the stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you want to see next on the patrolling series. And until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average patrolling enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.